Good morning, welcome back to American Truck Simulator. I'm Martin Wenzel. Going to be doing a job, or we're about 3 hours out, I think, for finishing this job, taking this digger. It's a little hard to see here in the dark. I'm taking this digger to the, I think it's the Big Sur dig. What is that called? I'm not sure what it is. But it is that Mud Creek slide up by Santa Maria, or north of Santa Maria on the California 1. And well, let's get to it, and I'll kind of explain what's going on as we're driving. Gotta back out of here and kind of just turn completely around. See all these trucks flying through the rest area. Oh, we're gonna kind of jackknife it here. Hopefully we don't. Yeah, none of these trucks are actually stopping, so they're just kind of going looping around on this access road to this rest area. All these cars are. What is going on? Come on, guys. Let's see if I got it. Are you serious, dude? Just drive right into me. Complete idiot. I tell you something. I'll tell you, some people, they just ignore everything around them. Just pull right out into traffic. Well, I didn't pull out into traffic. They just kind of fly down the road. There's no one there, and then he just comes around the corner. Doesn't even stop when he sees me kind of edging out. All right, let's make sure everything's kind of locked in place here. Alright, so we are on the outskirts of Los Angeles. I believe we're on the 101 right now. Look at those lights. Those lights look really good. I think that's a mod I have installed. Makes those lights look a little more brilliant. Passing through Oxnard. So this is Operation Big Sur, clearing that landslide away from California 1. And I'm not part of the online World of Trucks component of it because I am very hesitant to connect my profile to online again, because last time I did that I wasn't able to actually drive if the internet wasn't working. And I don't want to be limited by my internet going out or there being some issue along those lines. So not actually doing this for credit or anything or to help the operation itself, really, but this is what it is right now I think the goal is 500,000 World of Truck deliveries to the Mud Creek. You know, that's the slide, the Mud Creek slide, and it actually will show up in your jobs. And I think you can take it as a World of Trucks job, or I think it has to be an external contract. I'm not sure. I took it obviously through the freight market. I'm not sure if you're connected, if it would count if you took it through the freight market or not. But 500,000 World of Truck deliveries to clear that landslide. Now, they just did a live stream for ETS2, and then they did one for ATS probably a week ago now. I'm going to be talking about some of the things that came out of the ATS one, and some of the it was hinted. Some of these things were hinted in the ETS2 live stream, and then more elaborated when they was focusing just on ATS itself. So with the Big Sur project, one of the things is that they're already thinking of maybe making the project a little larger, because they've already gotten, I think, a quarter of the way done, or a fifth of the way of those deliveries. Of that 500,000, they've already done already 100,000 deliveries have been done, and probably by the time this episode comes out, it'll be even more. And so they're thinking they might up that, because in real life, it's going to take a lot longer than it's probably going to take here in the game. But they did say that by the next update, that California 1 will be cleared of the landslide. So we're going to that landslide. This is the first time I've ever actually gone to it. And we're going to be delivering this digger, which will help with that. And then we'll probably be hauling out some truckload of sand and dirt. So back to the ATS live stream. I'm going to go through a few of the things that kind of popped out to me. And this was mentioned in the Euro Truck one also, is that in ATS they're working on getting another truck in the game. Now, when they announced it with ATS, they weren't as clear, but it sounds like with ATS in the ATS live stream that it is a new manufacturer. So we are going to be getting a new manufacturer, it sounds like. Fingers are still crossed. But they have gone on trips to get the sounds and everything, and that they are working on 2 trucks, but both of those trucks will be under this new manufacturer, or this manufacturer, the same manufacturer. But they also mentioned that their goal is in the next 18 to 24 months to have all the 7 major U.S. Manufacturer trucks that drive out there. So Freightliner, Volvo, Kenworth and Peterbilt, obviously. I'm trying to think of the other ones. So what, Freightliner, Volvo, Western Star, I would assume. I'm trying to think of some other ones. And then 2 others, I would assume, beyond that. Maybe Caterpillar. I think Caterpillar's one, right? And I wonder what they're going to do. Speaking of Freightliner, I just saw an article about the new electric Freightliner for the more short length jobs, more local, regional jobs. That's going to be cool. And if they bring that into the game, that'll be really cool to have electric trucks. We have the Tesla mod, but it'd be nice to have some actual in-game, part of the game Freightliners and Volvos and stuff like that. Because I've always wanted to drive those, but the mods don't always work, or the mods break every update. So sticking with the vanilla trucks for now. Coming up on Santa Maria, we're going to be discovering it for the first time on this profile. I've been here many times before in previous profiles, but this will be the first time on this Let's Play, Santa Maria. So we'll be getting close to the mudslide soon. Another thing they mentioned, this goes for both ETS and ATS, is that they're going to be going back and rehabbing and updating things on the old sections of the map. So definitely California and Nevada will be getting a lot of work done, and Arizona as well, as they get better textures, better ideas, rocks and prefabs and stuff like that. They're going to be going back and making it a little better. Also going back and upgrading the signage, making the highway signage more realistic, as we see in New Mexico and in new areas that have been added in Arizona and Nevada and California, where it has the exit number and so on and so forth. So that's going to be cool. Going to be working on that. They're doing the same thing in ETS. They're going to be working for probably the next year on upgrading Germany, which was basically the starting point of ETS. As we drive along the ocean. Beautiful scenery out here in California. It's a beautiful state. I've been to Los Angeles and San Diego, and quite different than Wisconsin, quite different than China, where I live now. And at some point I'm going to have to go back and visit my sister who lives in California. I think she's down in Los Angeles now. She was in Northern California. I definitely have to get to San Francisco and the northern part, more northern California and the mountains and stuff, more than just Los Angeles. All right, we're gonna be getting off here and San Luis Obispo, or San Luis Obispo, something like that. Sun just peeking over the buildings now. Let's wait. This bus doesn't look like he's gonna stop and cooperate. And we don't want a repeat of the start of this journey today. In the live stream, they mentioned Texas. And they said Texas is gonna take a long time to do because it's so big. As if we really need to be told that. But, you know, I'm sure Texas is gonna be in the pipeline sooner rather than later, just the way the map is going. As for the map, they have talked about how they are going to be expanding their map teams. I think right now, yeah, see, I have it all here, but it's just a little bit. Yeah, they're in the process. So they said they're in the process of splitting the map team into 2 DLC teams, or 2 different teams, in order to get more maps made quicker. And so already they're saying that they're working on Oregon, obviously, but by the time Oregon is released, 2 teams will be working on 2 different states. So we're gonna have 2 DLC coming, or maybe a DLC pack that includes 2 states. They did not confirm where the next DLC will be, but they did say that they will be working on trying to get rid of the hockey stick, the little L that we got going where, you know, you're going to go Oregon, California, Arizona, New Mexico, and all your jobs are going to be along the 40 and the 5, basically. And that they're going to start working on squaring out the map, which would mean probably Utah. I would think Utah and maybe Idaho. Utah, Idaho, Utah, Colorado, somewhere in there would be your next 2 states. Or Washington and Utah. You keep going up, get Washington, and get all the way to the Canadian border, and then start moving over and squaring off the map. Some shipping out there. Ooh, make sure we stay on the road. More Oregon-centric news. In Oregon, obviously they have attendance, gas station attendance. We have gas station attendance here in China as well. And it's quite annoying sometimes. I'd rather pump my own gas, since that's just what I'm used to. And they're not the greatest attendance here in China. It's actually a pain in the butt. I don't know how it is in Oregon. You guys tell me if you live in Oregon. But what they will be doing is, well, they're not going to be simulating having attendance in Oregon. At least not at this point. So it will be the same gas, pump and go system, just like every other state. And they will not be putting that in. But with Oregon, they did say they're going to be adding animated gates. So that's something there's some mods in ETS. I've played with them. I don't know if I've done any gameplay videos in ETS with the animated gates, but they do have mods for that in that game. I'm not sure if anyone's done a mod introducing those to ATS, but they are working on those for Oregon, and then we'll probably, as they work on upgrading the older sections of the map, add those in. All trucks must turn left. Okay. Oh, wait. What? Okay, never mind. I don't have to turn left. What? I was wondering. I saw the sign. Okay, that was embarrassing. I saw the sign, I read the sign, ignored my GPS. Of course, in real life, maybe your GPS isn't right, but in-game, the GPS is usually pretty right, and I think, of course, the reason they want us to all turn left is because up here, the road is closed. But we are actually shipping to the road closure, helping clear it. still an hour out, though, so they're really turning us off soon. But I suppose there's just not much, there aren't any other roads that turn off, so. And we didn't run into any invisible things, so I'm sure. I wonder if, like, I've never driven out here before the Big Sur project came out, so I wonder if I had driven up this road, if at that point there would have been the barriers. I have the hidden barriers, but if, you know, if I had driven through them, I would have run into a wall. I'm not sure. Got some mist coming off the ocean there. Or if you would have, I'm wondering if you would have been able to drive all the way up to the project. And that's cool, you got a little rest area here. I wonder if that's new, just to give people somewhere to rest, because you're driving up and driving back. You have to go, you can't really go across. We got Big Creek. Not the creek that caused the mudslide. Not sure if the creek even caused the mudslide at all. But I think that's Mud Creek is what the mudslide's called. I saw a few of these. This is the next thing on the list of things they talked about in ATS, the live stream, is that sandstorms. I did notice a few sandstorms driving in New Mexico and Arizona a while back, that they've been testing those out. And they're working on, they actually established a position to do some research on the skybox and weather, and that's probably going to play into adding a few more different kinds of things with weather, and also working towards doing seasons. They mentioned in the ETS that they were going to be eventually looking into doing seasons and getting around seasons. I don't think that's going to be anytime soon. And in ATS, they're like, yeah, we're working on that. We're going to be working on seasons and having seasonal weather, obviously. And so that's going to be pretty cool. I mean, they've added in the time zones. Things have changed. This game's been out, what, now a year, 2 years, 3 years? And definitely chugging along, and I think it's gonna take off. Pavel said that he wants to get to the East Coast in his lifetime. So they're gonna have to pick up the pace on making DLC and all that stuff as well. Speaking of DLC, they've said, and they said this with ETS as well, that if a player doesn't own the in an adjacent state, but then gets the next DLC, and you know there's a gap in your map, you can still get to that next state by having some teleport stations or something. You know, so they're gonna make it that you don't have to buy every state if you don't want them. Though we're gonna get every single one. I don't see any reason why you wouldn't. I mean, if you're into American Truck Simulator, I don't know why you wouldn't buy every single one. And here we are at the mudslide. Wow, look at that. That's cool. And you can see it's being dug out. What's going to be the best way to get in here? I think we're going to go right. Yeah, it looks like we're just going to be probably hauling out another trailer with a with a shovel or something on it. Oh, I wonder if it would have been better to go the other way. Alright, got it parked. Drove it in there, damaged my truck a little bit because I'm the world's worst truck driver. So let's drop this thing off. Didn't damage the trailer, luckily. 840 miles, $1,014, 855 XP. And right there, midway between level 18 and 19. Alright, let's get another job. We're pulling something out of here, and we'll take it wherever it needs to go. Alright, we got next job. Let's see, where is it? Get all this stuff set. Okay, never mind. So to get that job, I have to go over there. Oh, I think we can drive around. Okay, I think we can drive around on that little access road. There's a little road that we have to go to actually select the job, but it's going to be one of these excavators, one of those big orange excavators. And we're going to be taking it to Socorro, New Mexico. Could have probably taken that cat digger right there. There was another one, I think it was basically the same thing we just took here, and we'll be taking it right back to Los Angeles. And I want to kind of get a bigger job. Nice rough road. My wheel is bouncing around like crazy with the force feedback. Over here to the other site on the north side here, and then we're gonna have to drive right back over this rough road to get back. Surprisingly, none of the jobs are actually going north from here. They're all going south. One's to Lubbock, one's to Socorro, and the other one's to Los Angeles. So I think you have to pick them up from over here, though. It's gonna be really hard getting out of here because we're gonna have to turn around this little bobcat. Alright, there's the manhole, which is quite out of place here. Is that it right there? Yep. So hopefully we can drive right past it and then back in. It's going to be 44,000 pounds, 22 tons. And speaking of weight, that was another thing ATS mentioned, was that none of the cargo is going to be overweight currently. So you're not going to get penalized. None of the jobs where you're picking up the trailer itself are going to be overweight. What the? Oh, okay, I'm really off. They said none of the jobs will be overweight, but that maybe in the future, there is some speculation, or this might be speculation by the poster of this little summary, is that maybe once you have your own trailer, you could choose to take overweight loads and try to skirt the law for a little bit extra coin. All right, let's go. So we got 44,000 pounds. We're not overweight, I guess. And yeah, so none of the freight market jobs will be overweight, but there's speculation they might be something they're going to add, is that when you have your own trailers, you can choose to take overweight loads and hopefully not get tagged by the weigh stations or by, I wonder if they're going to add a more vigorous state patrol. Okay, this is gonna be a real pain in the butt. It's really interesting that you have to pick it up from this side and then crush it over here. I mean, I suppose you could go all the way up the road and come around again, but I think we'll just have to. Oh man, this is ridiculous. All right, we're gonna have to really swing this thing. You can see the GPS is already updated to say, hey, maybe you should go that way. We're going to give it a little bit more of a try, because that's going to probably add an hour or two to our trip. And there we go, got around that bobcat. Okay, we are on our way. You can see that cut off an hour there that we're able to get this way. Otherwise we had gone all the way up to, would that have been Santa Cruz? I think Santa Cruz, and then go over and then come back down the 5 and everything, or the 101. Either way, it just would add a lot more time. Back on smooth road, out of this kind of a cluster of a little area there, just trying to back in, back out, all this stuff. Going over the Bixby Bridge, built 1932. Try to wrap up a few more of the talking points from ATS. Talked about how they will be working on making a bypass route around Las Vegas. People have complained that, because if you want to go, if you take any job from New Mexico or Arizona and you're going to somewhere in Nevada, you have to cut through Las Vegas, which is fine and all, except that Las Vegas is a frame rate killer, especially on lower end PCs, and even on my PC. And my PC is not terribly low end; it's not high end by any means anymore, but it's definitely not low end. And Las Vegas causes all kinds of headaches. Plus, it's a pain in the butt to drive through Las Vegas, the city itself. So we're going to be working on that. ETS, they mentioned, in the ETS 2 stream, they mentioned they were going to be adding tuning packs and stuff for the trucks in ATS. That'd be coming along eventually, and maybe accessory packs. And then in this one, they kind of said, well, it's illegal actually to have all kinds of stuff, kind of, you know, junk in the cab of a truck in America. And so they might not actually be adding that back, adding accessories in, or the accessories will be far fewer than are available in the accessory packs for Euro Truck Simulator. You can't have flags and blankets and all that kind of stuff on your windshield and stuff in America, so probably won't be something, it probably won't put it in anytime soon. But if fan demand is large, you know, is big enough, they might dare to do it. They said, quote unquote, dare to do it. You know, and it is a simulator, so you kind of want some realism to it, but at the same time, it's also a game for enjoyment. But along with the legal things, with, you know, legal rules and regulations and stuff for trucking, they said that they might add a UI into the game that you can actually look up some of those rules and understand, oh, I can do this, I can't do that, this is how long I have to rest, and just immerse it and educate people who are not actually truckers in real life who do play this game. And so that'd be something interesting. I don't know if that would just be like when I first thought of it, I'm thinking, oh, it's just gonna be kind of like a little place where you can go and just see the rules, and it's like kind of like an encyclopedia or something. But probably, I mean, they probably would just put it in the game itself. Like, when you come to a situation, they'll say, hey, you can't do that, you know, per this regulation, or this is what you have to do. You're running out of, you know, you're running out of duty time or whatever it is, as per this regulation. You can't go on this road. You know, for example, especially with adding in Yosemite, loaded trucks actually can't go through there. I'm not sure if Bobcats can either, or bobtailing. Sorry, not Bobcats. Bobtailing. You can't even bobtail through. But maybe that would explain why, you know, as per this regulation or whatever. So that's something they're talking about. Back with the trailers, and that's something I think probably in the next update or two, you're going to be able to buy and have your own personal trailer and then pick up jobs and get it loaded. And that they are working on getting a licensed trailer. So Great Dane, or what's the other one? Slipping in my mind now. But I know Great Dane because I keep seeing them, because I do have that mod for that trailer from Cyrus the Virus. So they will actually have a licensed trailer. They're working on that. Trying to see if there's anything else. Some more random events will evolve over the years. The random events will evolve. Visual damage. There's still not going to be damage on the trucks. So I have gotten some damage to this truck. Let's see. I've got 4%, and I just repaired it after my last job. Actually, the engine collapsed. I mean, it needed to be repaired. And I already got 4%, and I've barely driven 1,000 miles. And that's just because of getting into accidents. But that won't actually visually show on your truck. No rust, anything like that. I'm not sure of rust, but, you know, actual visual serious damage, because that has to do with the licensing. The truck manufacturers don't want to have their trucks in the game looking busted up and broken. I almost turned my head in real life to go try to see what those signs say. I know we drove past them, and I'm curious still to see what they say again. And I almost turned my head in real life. It wouldn't do anything in game though. I don't have the little head thing or whatever. Head tracker. So there won't be visual damage, but they did say that they are working on adding filth, dirt, and that kind of stuff. So it's the point where I guess you'll have to go to, at the truck stop, actually go into the truck wash and all that kind of stuff. So that should be interesting. Already mentioned the weather, or the seasons and the weather. I guess they were asked about expanding the game into other continents. And strangely enough, with that question, there's no question about are they planning on ever expanding American Truck Simulator into more of the North American continent. You know, are we going to get an inclusion of Canada and Mexico, or is it simply going to be United States of America, the 48 lower states? I don't know how much. I mean, there obviously is. There is cross nation trucking between Mexico and America and Canada. But they did not mention any of that, but they did say that it will be pretty difficult with the team of their size to expand into more continents at this time. And that's a good answer for American Truck Simulator. I'm not really interested in driving on another continent yet. Now, if they do want to go and expand into another game or a DLC, a bigger DLC, I'd say just, make it a DLC to ETS and, make a DLC for both games. So if you have one game or the other, you can get a DLC for that game. If you are interested in driving Australia or driving, Asia or whatever it is, if they ever come about that, almost some people think that American Truck Simulator should just been a DLC for Euro Truck Simulator. But that's all financial stuff and that kind of thing. But they've said that they're not really equipped for that at this time. And as a fan of the current games, especially American Truck Simulator being in my country of origin, I would definitely want them to put more effort into expanding this game, American Truck Simulator, and getting all the way across this country first. So we'll see. They said, if the fans, and that's kind of like the final thing, or close to the final thing they talked about, was the game will be supported for the next 5-10 years. They're planning on supporting the game for the next 5-10 years, that's a good thing. That when you invest so much money in the DLC and that kind of stuff, especially Euro Truck Simulator's got a little bit more DLC than American Truck so far. But when you buy all these DLC packs, and then you buy that last DLC pack, and then it's like, oh, okay, now we're coming out with the new game, and you're going to have to start over and buy all the new DLC packs for the new game, and it's a little frustrating. And so it looks like they're planning on really making, working as American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2 being, the models, kind of like Train Simulator, all these ones where you have the expansions, having that base game just expand and expand and expand and, make their money off the DLCs, which in a game like this, I think it's fine. It's fine. Because a game, if you're going to do an American Truck Simulator or Euro Truck Simulator kind of thing, and you're going to have such an expansive game, it's going to cost more than $60 right off the bat if you're going to have a complete $60 game. Would I pay, would anyone pay $123 or $300 or whatever, right, day one for a completed game, the whole map's already completed? I'd argue almost no, but maybe. And that'd be cool, take the game out of the box and have the whole country. But the fact that this game is at 1/20th scale and all that, and I'm kind of just rambling on about it, but they said 5 to 10 years they're going to continue to support it as long as the fans are into it, as long as it's popular, and I think it's not going to go away. The only way I think American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator, the fan base, is going to collapse is if SCS abandons it. If they say, okay, we're not dropping any more DLC, we're not expanding it, we're not going to go back and tweak things and make the engine run better and advance it to, that was a big thing I saw in the ETS one, is that they're thinking about, they're no longer going to support really old versions of Windows, and so they'll let them go towards DirectX 12 or even 13, I think was said, which should make the game more efficient, run more efficiently on our computers, because this is a game that is a little laggy, considering that it's not too, there is not a ton going on. I mean, it's just a lot of visual textures and everything. You know, but I have the new Wreckfest game that finally released to version 1.0, full release. I got it during alpha only a couple months ago, and I'll probably be doing some videos of that because that game looks beautiful. Yeah, thanks for pulling in front of me, dumper. But that game it runs 60. I have no problem running 60 frames per second the whole time. I've got the settings maxed out. It looks like a movie. It looks like I'm watching a freaking film. It's beautiful, and you got flying parts and all that stuff. And I should have stopped at the gas station. I think there should be a gas station on the other end of 58 here, so we won't be in too much trouble. Last, I tried to record this numbered episode. I tried to record before, and I had so many issues with the engine breaking down and having to get gas, and it was ridiculous. So I kind of cheated to not completely wipe my bank account out from my multiple errors recording that episode. Okay, so there's a Walmart. Well, we should be going into Kingman, right? Or not Kingman, Barstow. So there should be something in Barstow. But just, yeah, looking forward, it's exciting to hear from the developers. I think that's one thing. I have a hard time finding information about what's going on with ATS and Euro Truck Simulator, because if you go to the game websites, or even go to SCS, it's not really updated. It's like a year out of date. They're still talking about releasing Arizona. It's like, come on, we got New Mexico, and you know, we've already gone in, we're working on the Baltics. We just released Italy and France. I mean, give me some updates. And that was great with the live stream. A lot of cool updates, a lot of good things in the future coming. Just do a quick rundown again of everything, the big things I think that came out of it. New truck manufacturer. Actually, look back at my notes. They have actually secured the new manufacturer, it sounds like. They have locked that down, and they are working on 2 trucks from it. So tell me what you think, who you think it's going to be. Is it going to be Freightliner, Volvo, one of the other 3 manufacturers currently not in the game that I can't think of, because they have said their goal is within the next 2 years to get all 7 manufacturers, major trucks that are used on the road for long haul in America, in the game, which will really be awesome, because Euro Truck Simulator, you have all that selection. You have Scania, you have MAN, you have DAF, you have Iveco, Volvo, Mercedes. You have all the big brands, Renault. And then, you know, you come to American Truck Simulator, they got Peterbilt and Kenworth, which are the big ones. They're big. So's Freightliner. So's Volvo. Volvo's getting huge. And everywhere I go now when I'm in America, it's like all I see are Freightliners and Volvos. I always see Peterbilt, Peterbilt shops and on the side of the freeway but I never see the Peterbilts actually on the road. So tell me what you think. Did I miss a gas station while I was yapping? Yes, I did. Alright, I'm gonna probably turn around. Wow, frame rate's kind of eating it here. Yep, yapping away, and I missed the one gas station I wanted to go to. So we're gonna have to do a little U-turn. A lot of this today. A lot of pretty crappy driving. And actually, we are in Bakersfield. I think this is where the episode's gonna end. So as we're getting gas, I'm gonna kind of go over those bullet points again really quickly. I started doing it, and then I realized I missed my gas station. So they do have a new manufacturer going to be coming for American Truck Simulator. Got 2 trucks. They will have they're going to lock down licensing for a trailer, so that when they do add the trailers, personal trailers, you will be able to get a Great Dane or whatever it's going to be. Then Now, what I'm going to do, see, you can see it right there. It says no U-turn, so I can't do the U-turn. So I'm going to have to go in to the Peterbilt dealership and U-turn so I don't break the rules. They're going to be rehabbing older sections of the map. They're going to be upgrading the signage to reflect what they've added in New Mexico. Once Oregon is finished, they will have worked there. They're going to have 2 teams working on the future DLC maps. So we will be able to get 2 states. You know, the DLCs will be coming a little bit quicker. And then finally, I'm just trying to think of what else. They are looking at weather. They're going to work on squaring the map. They're going to still add a few more routes, probably a route around Las Vegas, so you don't have to go through Las Vegas when you're going up into Nevada from Arizona. And then finally, some accessories. Not going to have too many accessories for in your cabin, or at least not as many as Euro Truck Simulator, because it is illegal to have too much junk in your cab in an American truck. And I guess kind of just wrapping up this episode, the Big Sur dig project, whatever it is called, the Mud Creek slide. Those jobs are available if you are connected through World of Trucks. If you do 5 or more jobs, you will get a bonus or something. You'll get something cool from SCS. Participating in clearing that slide by taking jobs to and from that slide. We are currently taking one from the slide now. And they're talking about maybe upping the number of jobs required to clear that slide because already they've gotten 100,000 jobs done out of the 500,000 required, and it's just such an outpouring of support for that. So I'm going to try to wrap up the rambling. Until next time, I'm Martin Wenzel. We're in Bakersfield, California, hauling this excavator to Socorro, New Mexico from the Mud Creek slide in California on the Highway 1. Until next time, I'm Martin Wenzel. This is American Truck Simulator. Goodbye. Happy trucking.